Please stop. Please stop. Please stop.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie, man.
I'm gonna make this space quick because I don't like to. I don't know how some YouTubers make videos. Like one thing if I make a post, but normally if I make a video, I'm fairly firm on my beliefs. I don't know how people make videos about teams like 10, 15 minutes, 10, 15 games into the regular season. Like the sample size is way too small. I say that because I'm not. I don't. That's the reason why this space is going to be short because I don't want to overreact to what I just saw because the Lakers, like the Spurs, are legitimately the worst team in the NBA, and they're trying to tank. So the Lakers like looking this good, you know. I mean, it is what it is. I'm happy at one end. A win is a win at this point in the season, especially because they started off so slowly. And also, it's good to know that the Lakers can look this good against a team they're supposed to be dominating against and it also did it against I mean without LeBron as well, which I'll touch on that as well. Um and Anthony Davis, probably the more important thing is that he's looking really, really great. I said this on a timeline not too long ago, and I genuinely when I say I genuinely believe that the biggest problem that the Lakers face moving forward is where does AD and LeBron rank in the NBA because the team it doesn't matter like what happens after the like post Westbrook in the following year there isn't another star caliber player they can add to this roster outside of Kyrie, which I don't know if he'll be even available. So the reality is that this team moving forward is going to be just top heavy regardless of what they do. So AD and LeBron have to play um, as like two top, at worst, top 12 players in the league, one of which has to be a top 5 to 7 player at worst in the NBA. And my biggest concern is that the transition from LeBron regressing and AD ascending to that status hasn't been going over smoothly. The past 2 to 3 games, AD has looked much better. Once more, though, I don't want to like overreact because like AD is dominating teams, and not only he's supposed to be dominating, but he's also dominating teams that are just smaller teams. They don't really have the proper matchup. Um, so like, of course, he can just look great against a team that only played like 20 some minutes and he was in foul trouble the entire night. So like yeah, he can look great against that team. He can look great against a Pistons team that also runs fairly small as well. And even when the game was close, Sadiq Bey got hurt and he didn't finish a game. So AD going out there giving me 30 and 18 is great. It's monstrous. I'm happy that he's able to dominate in that fashion, not only 30 and 18, but 30 points in under 30 minutes as well. Like AD looked amazing. And I would assume that he's also going to look amazing against the Spurs 2 more times because the Lakers, we play the Spurs 3 out of the next 4 games. So we played them today. We have the Suns next and then 2 more Spurs games. So the Suns are the team that I'm probably going to be a bit more critical on because they're a legitimate, like a quality team. That's a better assessment. But at the end of the day, it's still good to see the Lakers being able to just confidently come in and kind of knock off this team as quickly as they did. Um, in terms of 3-point shooting, shout out to Russ. He made 2 out of his 5 threes. Kendrick Nunn is getting back in the rhythm as well. And then even Austin Reeves knocked down some threes as well. So the Lakers are no longer. I'm pretty sure after tonight they probably will no longer be the worst 3-point shooting team in the modern NBA. Which, FYI, the Lakers were indeed the worst 3-point shooting team in the modern NBA. Um,
That
and
is wild, man.
and to be completely honest with you, depending on how you view like relatively speaking, like how like relative to what is all available, the Lakers were in a conversation for the worst 3-point shooting of all time up until these past 2 to 3 games. So that's great to see as well. Thomas Bryant just came in. He's giving quality minutes also. That's really good to see because Damian Jones was not fucking cutting it. So that's good. And also more importantly, the team just feels like they run with a better pace with Westbrook kind of operating the offense, which this may come across as a bit of a, I don't know, whatever y'all, what I'm about to say next, y'all can just take it however you want to take it. Pause, Jesus. I personally feel like the team looks, feels, and just plays better when Westbrook is operating the offense versus LeBron because Westbrook actually initiates it. He pushes the pace. He constantly looks for players, which builds the confidence of younger guys. And when Westbrook has the ball in his hands, he just looks more confident as well. Of course, you're going to take the good with the bad with Westbrook. So when he does have actually today he didn't have a high turnover night, but I think the last two games before tonight he did. You still take the good with the bad, but it's still it's very contagious the energy that he plays with, and it best benefits the team because in a half court set they just look atrocious, especially when teams are able to load up and properly set their defense against the Lakers, which normally happens with LeBron or it did. So I would love to see even when LeBron, whenever he does come back, take more of a step back in the offense and allowing Westbrook to try to just push the pace when they do share the floor instead of trying to slow it down. And I say that even in the fourth quarter as well. Just let Russ just handle the offense when you're off the floor and allow LeBron to continue to just do what LeBron does. I don't know if there's an update on when LeBron is supposed to come back, which is kind of the other concerning thing either.
Wait, hello.
Maybe it's like
I have a
David.
question. I was gonna say, you think if LeBron comes back and like they play, there's gonna be minutes obviously in the fourth with LeBron, AD, and Russ are out. You think Russ should just be the main ball header and LeBron just cuts and moves off ball type of thing?
Yeah, because LeBron is just the reality, and I think that they're going to just do it in spurts and minutes anyway. So it's not going to I don't think it's going to tank their offense. It's just that when those three are on the floor, there's just more production that can be had with LeBron off ball and Russ on ball. Just because so far this season, LeBron just hasn't shown that he's a dynamic enough scorer to punish the team when they
Yeah.
sag off of him or leave him open or anything like that. So he until he can get down the consistent shot, it might just be better because Westbrook has a better feel for the pace right now. And everybody else feels more comfortable. It does concern me though when LeBron gets back and he starts to slow down the pace with his half court sets, especially with the high post ups, how the team will react to not being able to just push the pace constantly like they have been. But I right now I like the dynamic of the pace of the team. I like the energy that they're playing with. However, any substantial concrete assessment that I could take away from the Lakers is just really hard to do when they're playing against the Spurs and then they just got done playing
But
against the Pistons without KD.
you could still say that Russ has been like to out of the three of them, you could say Russ has been like the most consistent in terms of like what
Yeah,
he's giving
no,
you so
not
far.
really. At the start of
Really,
the
yeah.
season, remember the nigga was playing really, really bad.
Yeah, but
To start
LeBron
the
is still
season.
playing bad, and AD just started picking up playing like great basketball.
I
Like
still think AD has
defensively,
been more consistent.
Yeah,
really.
he's especially defensively. He's
Yeah.
definitely been consistent.
Yeah, that I know. Actually, yeah, you're right. Because defensively, I know he was literally the reason why the Lakers were so high ranked defensively earlier in the season. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that does make sense.
Couldn't make any shots at the rim when he was on the floor.
But AD needs his jump shot back, man. Like Eli was talking about it with you earlier, though, about like the whole he's looking like 2020, but he needs the jump shot back. Because he needs to be somewhat of a threat. He's still a threat on the perimeter, but he needs to be more of a threat. That just would allow at least more of some sort of space to work with when
I
he's
think
picking up
it's
the ball.
I think it's mainly because the position he's playing, and mainly it's just the shot just isn't as consistent because he's not able to roam as much or I don't know.
So do you think they need a stretch five or something?
They do, but how many stretch fives are really on the market right now for the Lakers to
I was
pick
about to
up?
say they don't. I just think they need another solid body inside
That is
because I
also
don't. The thing that kind of concerns me is that this is clearly what AD looks like, and to finish the sentiment I was saying about LeBron and AD and how as one regresses, one should ascend. Even what I see out of AD right now, it's still just not enough. Like if that makes sense. Like it's not enough to
In a sense of what though?
because I don't because even after everything, I still don't think that he's a I just don't think that he's a top 5 to 7 player. The problem is that one of them is going to have to uphold the mantle of being a very clear number one in a playoff setting, because I think the teams that are competing or trying, or at least trying to compete, all of those teams have those players. So the Nuggets have Jokic, the Warriors have Curry, the Bucks have Giannis, the Sixers have Embiid. Depending on how you feel about Dallas, if you think they're competing, they have
Luka.
Luka. So it's not like and if we're being honest with ourselves, I don't really think there is a team that is competing. Maybe Memphis that doesn't have that player. And
Yeah, Phoenix.
I say that because like you're gonna have to outman them. If you can't go stretches where, both of them are struggling just because they're not of that caliber, they're not of that ilk. And I mean, hopefully this is the year in which AD takes that mantle and he can uphold it. But until then, I just don't see it between both LeBron and AD. And to me, that's the bigger problem with the team. But
That's fair to say.
I still think that LeBron,
Nah, I agree with you, bro.
especially because
I
I feel
get
like
what you're saying.
he
You're
was
saying that
injured.
AD needs to be the clear-cut number one MVP type player.
Nah, he needs to.
he needs to be. But and again, him dominating the Pistons and Spurs like that. I mean, that's great, but that doesn't give me the answer of like if he is that player or not.
I'll
Nah,
be
I agree with
I'll be
you, but
honest
it is
though.
the Pistons and Spurs.
I don't think
You got to
LeBron
rank
is
against
actually gonna
Jokic.
keep I don't think LeBron's gonna continue to play this bad.
Yeah,
To
me
be honest. And like also AD, like I think he actually does have a chance to become like a top 7 player again this year. Because like even though his mid range isn't there, he's damn near doing everything at an elite level right now. Like very, very like few people in the league are doing that. Like besides Giannis, like as of right now. And his defense has been crazy. Low knows for sure. Like he's backpacking the fuck out of their defense right now.
Facts.
And
The one
he
thing, knock on wood, is that he's actually playing games.
yeah. So like if he can definitely I think he could continue this, and if he does, he could definitely be in a top 5 player conversation for sure. For sure.
I don't. Again, I just don't want to overreact to AD dominating against like legitimately bad teams. I mean that, and so far, because again the Lakers schedule has been weak. This is just who they've been playing. But I mean I'm at the end of the day, and the other thing about the Lakers is that and I kind of did the same thing last year when I started to realize like where the team was at. They've kind of already put themselves in such a deep hole with the 10 losses within the first 15 games of the season that it could bite them in the backside at the back end of the year. Because realistically speaking, they're only giving themselves the opportunity to only lose like 20 or 25 more games throughout the remainder of the year, and this is the weaker part of the schedule. But by the end of December, so basically within a month and a half's time, the Lakers need to be like probably like 3 to 4 games above 500 for me to feel more confident about the team before I can like see this identity really manifesting to what it needs to be. The other thing that kind of concerns me, not concerns me, but I was kind of going back and forth before the season began, was what's my man? What's the team name? The Kings. The Kings actually being a team that could secure the 10th spot in the West, and they're playing much better than I expected. But on the flip side, like the fucking
it could be higher, to be honest.
Yeah, it could be like a 6.
Yeah. But the Timberwolves right now are looking so disappointing that I'm actually I'm a bit more optimistic that there still might be a slot available.
You can make a video on. I don't think it's early to make a video on those niggas. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that team looking.
Yeah, it's only not.
No, yeah, okay.
Hey,
I'm legitimately thinking about making a video about Towns being like by far, and I do mean by far the worst defender in the NBA. I genuinely believe he's the worst.
Can we talk about how that Rudy Gobert trade is now the worst trade in NBA history now?
I told people that when it happened, and people didn't want to hear me.
They both can't play perimeter defense.
They can't. They literally both cannot be on the floor. I mean, this is not fucking.
Rudy's not as bad though. Rudy's not as bad. Like
No, Rudy's not
He's
as
It's
not,
more
bad, but
but
like
he can't.
that's a
You know,
But
Cousins
now,
back in
ball
the
on
day.
offense, that nigga is definitely clogging up the paint so much so that it's making it harder for the other players to score. Yeah, specifically like
but
D'Lo.
but D'Lo,
Edwards.
but I was gonna say, but D'Lo's been struggling. He was struggling last year, so like I can't. D'Lo just needs to be a perimeter, or he needs to just start making jump shots again. That nigga, boy. D'Lo, boy.
Didn't he just come off a good game? But like to go back, actually, run this Minnesota Timberwolves team, bro. I ain't gonna lie, they trash. But like to go back to the Lakers, like if AD keeps putting this up, like these great numbers, right? Would y'all actually like look into more of that Miles Turner, Buddy Hield trade?
Nigga, I'm cool with any trade, to be quite
I'm
honest. But I would definitely like
I
the
ain't gonna
first
lie. I
um
don't like the trade because Miles Turner is injury prone.
facts, and I think that even though Miles Turner provides 3-point shooting, you just need a solid presence in the paint. So when AD does roam around and does switch and he's able to help and stuff like that, you still have some presence behind him in the back line because that's the biggest problem. I was already
I think
collecting
I'll
some.
be honest. I think because
That's
how
how they won the
good
championship.
I think
They
how
had
good
so
AD
many
is.
bigs that they could just fucking play interchangeable. And
I think how good AD
Facts.
is. I think he'll actually be able to help out like Miles Turner become more like adequate to be able to alter shots more. And like obviously, Buddy Hield just provides spacing in general, right? And just more scoring, which is needed because like half court, which would help like LeBron in terms of his half court offense and just slowing it down.
But
And
the
then like
problem with Buddy Hield though is that he doesn't. He provides that, but he provides more 3-point shooting, but he doesn't provide quality defense on the perimeter, which is to me also another concern with his roster is that on the perimeter they're just too like small and inexperienced to defend at any consistent level. Not to say that um, not to say that there aren't that many other players available that can aid in that process, but hey man, I like what this have with Jakob Poeltl and Josh Richardson, man.
oh no,
I
you
get
know
what
where
you're
they
saying, but
go.
is
trade for Jay
Buddy Hield
Crowder.
really that much worse than Kendrick
Low.
Nunn and
No,
Matt
nigga,
Ryan?
no, nigga. Because you
Buddy
know where
Buddy
they.
Hield, yes, I think Buddy Hield is worse than not Matt Ryan, but I think Buddy Hield is worse than Kendrick Nunn.
I don't know.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
somebody
lie,
He's
Lowe's.
somebody
You
said
definitely
it.
know where Jakob Poeltl
he's
and Josh
consistent
Richardson are
enough
going, bro.
to
We don't
make
need to
that.
talk about it, but like, you know where they're going. You know where they're going, man. But
Nah, if we can get Jakob Poeltl,
I want that.
Josh Richardson, man.
y'all ain't getting them, bro. They're
Josh
coming home.
Richardson was like the only
Josh Richardson and
plus
Jakob
3-point
Poeltl
they
are
had.
coming home, man. They're coming home.
Man, if it's we get Jay Rich and Jakob Poeltl, bro, we'll be good, bro. I'll be much more happier. And on top of that, that is a team that's building more in the identity of an Anthony Davis led team anyway. Which if we
If you
all
want to
You
compete,
assume,
do
you
got a
need
point
that,
about
like
that.
not a LeBron based team
yeah, I'm about
at
to
this
say if
point.
we
Yeah, it
if
would
we
be good
all
either way.
assume that this team is going to go in that direction anyway, where it's going to be anchored by AD or the face of it will flow through Anthony Davis versus LeBron, then we just need to build the team that best suits AD's identity and having back line help aside him like Pirtle and then having wing defenders can truly unlock who Anthony Davis is as a defender because right now he's still, and to an extent, even in 2020, he still has to overextend himself, which is partially the genius of AD. But if he's on a team with just quality 3-and-D players and a quality rim protector who he can play alongside for a healthy 20 minutes throughout the entire game, so he can switch, he can roam, he can help. He can still do the things that he needs to do defensively that makes him special. That and then do it confidently because he knows he has backline help and knows that he still has competent defenders on the perimeter. I mean that is I mean that's how Kevin Garnett was able to peak in 2008 as a defender because he had a better defensive supporting cast around him. And so the same thing probably would be said for AD. But that can only happen if, in my opinion, if Jakob Poeltl is on the roster instead of Miles Turner, because I just don't think Miles Turner he's a solid rotation big, but he fouls a lot and he also gets hurt a lot as well. That kind of concerns me.
Yo, who the fuck let Thomas Bryant get off, man? Yo, the Spurs are
They
nasty,
didn't
bro.
they didn't have a big though.
Yeah.
They
They
weren't playing
didn't have a
Poeltl
big.
tonight.
You don't have a big.
They were literally letting them niggas
Let
literally
me
rim
find out.
run.
Let me find out when you and Gabriel got off on these niggas too, man.
I
Let me
think no,
find
I
out, bro.
think he got a few points. I don't think it was nothing crazy.
Oh my god, man. Let me not speak on that nigga. I might
And then
destroy his
also
face.
reached at 21 tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you watch the game, it was literally just dump the ball into what you call it over and over and over again.
Yeah, and they literally couldn't stop it. They were letting them get a lot of boards too. Like they just could not box anybody out.
Like at all. Like not even in the slightest. They just couldn't box somebody out.
I feel like AD getting to play more like himself with LeBron now.
I mean, hopefully, but LeBron needs to be a consistent jump shooter for that shit to actually work. Otherwise, you're going to sag off even harder, make his job even more difficult than it is already.
I just
Yeah,
don't
that
know
was the end of the
why
season.
the
I ain't gonna
Lakers
lie.
went.
They got to start respecting Westbrook's shot because Westbrook's starting to knock them shits down now.
okay, that's a bit too much.
I don't know why the Lakers went
A bit too
away
much.
from LeBron being the point guard like he was in 2019, 2020. And he was.
Well, LeBron didn't want to be the point guard like that
But
anymore.
did you
I
say?
don't think
Did
he
you say
wants
why
to
did they
be
go
that
away from it?
no more. I don't think he
They
wants that.
want LeBron to be more relaxed.
It's basically in 2021,
That's too much
LeBron
on
was the
LeBron.
point guard, but literally they had the worst. Like he was getting injured a lot, so by the time the playoffs came around, a minute that nigga stepped off the court, they
But
had the
Lo,
worst
the
offensive
reason why
unit.
I don't think he wants to be that though is because like the team, like you said, is not just in the right type of form for him to actually be able to run the one. So like, and plus he's not in the greatest shape like right now of his career, which is a crazy thing to say. But yeah, I don't. He definitely doesn't want to, but the team is not just adequate at all for like him to actually be running the one.
That's fair, but
Yeah.
I don't think that I think for the additions that needed to be made to sustain the level of play, just in general, I think it's more beneficial for the Lakers to move in a direction to sustain Anthony Davis' level of play versus LeBron because again,
No, yeah, that's 100%.
yeah,
I 100% agree with slanting towards a more of an AD type of style of play where you have a roster construction of something that has to do more with AD than LeBron, obviously, because AD is your youngest talent and actually the best player on your team. So it makes the most sense. And like LeBron's getting older too, so like I 100% agree with that too. Because LeBron as well can just like, even though he doesn't run your one, LeBron is LeBron. Like he can plug and play with like a lot of people, right? So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
And I think either trade works. Specifically, I think the Spurs trade is better, like you said. But even if we go with the Pacers trade, I mean, it's more spacing. These niggas are closing out to niggas like Miles Turner, unlike Wendy and Gabriel and Damian Jones at the top of the key. At least they'll be there, not sighting completely off into the paint. So either trade makes them better, but yeah, I'd probably like to see that the Spurs trade.
yeah, and to also to be fair, so to answer your question, KB, yes, like in general, 3-point shooting will aid everyone really. Like it, I mean, even Westbrook, like just having more adequate 3-point shooters will just aid everyone. So I'm not. That's a fix that helps everyone out. So that's why, like, yeah, of course, that's kind of a no brainer. I just want to make sure that whatever we do, like a Miles Turner and Buddy Hield addition, to me more slants towards aiding LeBron more so than it aids AD because getting two quality defenders already it just gives AD more security defensively to kind of do whatever he deems necessary without having to worry about like the repercussions of him helping or having to switch so much and be more perimeter oriented defensively with no backline help. So to me, providing him with more defensive oriented players who can still complement the style of what he's trying to do offensively is just more important. And I think that you can get that out of trades. But to all and another reason why I feel this way about it is because, and not to say again, I'm not trying to overreact to Dennis Schroeder, but I think as time progresses, it's just too many guards on this team, right? And
Yeah.
so it's as good
There's
as
way too
Westbrook has
many.
been in the bench role, and I applaud him for it. At the end of the day, I mean, there's just so many players on a team that can provide value coming off the bench at a guard position that even if Westbrook is capitalizing and maximizing his input on this team as a sixth man, it's still not. It will be just more valuable to get more defensive pieces to become a much more well-rounded roster. Again, I applaud Westbrook, and I think even when he's gone, whenever that is, I don't think that Nunn or Dennis Schroeder or whoever they're going to have coming off the bench as a sixth man will be as good as he is. But what I do believe is whatever the Lakers could potentially receive in return for him will just make the team overall better, and that's why I just think that
They
yeah,
don't get
I'm more so
yeah.
slanted on AD getting more help defensively, which can kind of unlock him on that side of the floor and him becoming a much more confident defender and kind of relieving him on that side of the floor so he can be a better offensive player as well. Like I'm all for that.
So I do wonder if that Spurs trade does happen, will Ham still lean into more AD at center lineups, or will he actually
No.
like it in
I would, because well, I can't. I was gonna say they didn't do that before, but that was Vogel. I think. I mean, if that's what they go in the direction of, I think it's kind of a no brainer to kind of go in the direction of Pirtle and AD out there. But you just stagger the minutes. And to be fair to him, I think he's done a great job this year when all three of them have been available. And he did a really good job staggering the minutes between LeBron and AD and Russ. And then with LeBron by himself out there with some of the younger guys with ample floor spacing, he's done a really good job doing it. The reason why I feel like part of the reason why it hasn't been as impactful is because the style of play is just so drastically different from when LeBron handles the offense versus Westbrook. But outside of that, I mean, to be fair to him, he's done a really good job. So I think that starting would be AD in a legitimate five if that's what the Lakers can get, or even if it's AD and Miles Turner, and then you just stagger the minutes when you need to do so. But at that time, yeah, LeBron needs to be a better 3-point shooter, and whoever is in the starting lineup at the guard positions also have to be really good 3-point shooters as well.
Yeah. I'm going to need my boy JTA to actually start improving more in his shot quality and his defense.
I'm not holding my breath.
We desperately need more wings out there.
Yo, you see what
I'm
this
not
nigga?
holding my breath.
You see when this
JT
nigga,
is
have you seen
lame.
this whole Kyrie thing going on? Like the support outside the Barclays Center?
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Some nigga said Kyrie now has an extremist group showing up to the NBA arenas, and some players are supportive of it.
People just don't know that's the what is that? What that group called? The Brotherhood of Unity or something like that, or Unity Brotherhood or something like that. It's the people who believe that they're the Hebrew Israelites and stuff like that. That's not a Kyrie led group. I don't know why people just don't know what they're talking about, so they just chatting. But yeah,
Nigga said an extremist group, man. That's
they're talking.
Nasty.
Also, I think I'll be way more confident about how I feel about AD next game if he's able to play at this level on a much better not only coach, but no, I want to say much better coach. Poppy's been kind of sus over the past 2-3 years, but just a team with better personnel, more defensive responsibility. I just want to see what he looks like against a quality team, or what the Lakers look like against a quality team before I just start again overreacting to Spurs and Pistons play, and even the Nets to an extent as well. I mean, the Nets are a team that just overly depends on KD before Kyrie came back. So when those things start to happen and those things start to occur, then I'll have a better assessment. Until then, though, I mean, again, congrats to the Lakers for dominating and playing, not just beating the team, but also dominating them like they should. Also, I said this in the other space. I'm gonna say it again. The one thing I really love about what Westbrook is doing is when he does handle the offense, he's very quick to find players. I think a lot of players know that that's how he's operating the offense, so they're running with a bit more pep in their step. And also, AD is getting the ball in way better positionings than he was before. There hasn't been that many high KD like post ups. Where he's like 15 to 20, 20 feet removed from the basket. He's been getting them in the paint after he's sealing players up. In the transition from running the floor, getting in position, grabbing the ball, and going up with it is very seamless. And it happens quick enough to where the opposing defense just doesn't have the ability to react quick enough to double team. And even when they do start to sag off a little bit and kind of converge into AD's presence inside the paint, you have players who are getting quality looks. I think that's how Austin Reeves knocked down at least one of his shots for sure in transition, but maybe even a couple of, if I'm not mistaken. All in all, though, great win. Great win. Great win. Great win. Great win.
Seems like it's been forever since the Lakers blew out a team.
No, we blew up the Nets a few days ago.
I'm about to say they had a very convincing win against the Nets as well. So
When was that?
Honestly,
Not
next game
moved,
against
man.
the Suns, I'm not really like. I think AD might dominate offensively, but I'm a bit scared with them niggas Devin Booker and Cameron.
Aiton has been very, very like mid this season.
I'm not gonna lie, man. The way Cameron Payne's been looking right now, though, he might fry you niggas on Tuesday.
I'm scared of Cameron Payne.
that's why I said that's what I'm saying. I want to see what it looks like when it's legit, when it's a legit team with a legit offense, and also it may still be favorable because Cam Johnson isn't playing. They're not obviously not playing Jay Crowder, so they don't even really have as much 3-point shooting that they normally would have anyway. So, still though, like I said, Cam Payne has been playing really well. A quick guard who can really probe and get inside the teeth of the defense and make a play. D Book has been D Book. And even though Ayton may be up and down, I still want to see what Davis looks like when he has to defend a big who is an actual scoring threat and not just a nigga roaming around setting screens. So, you know, when those things happen, I think it'll be a better assessment of who it is. And hopefully this is who AD is moving forward. Like this version of Anthony Davis is still, it looks like he's good enough to be at least a top 10 player. I even though I can't say that confidently, but at least in the conversation. How about that?
No, when he does nigga, what he's doing, this type of offensive production with the defense, he's for sure top 10, man. If he keeps it up.
Yeah, he got to keep it up.
I'm hoping for at least 6 DeAndre Ayton post hooks on 6-foot players so we can win tomorrow.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
man.
it's gonna be kind of
tomorrow.
Yeah, that nigga Russ needs to keep playing nice so his trade value can go up so y'all can get some better players, to be honest. So
I don't even think the trade value really matters as much because whatever team we trade for him,
We're going for the picks.
they're gonna just
It might be a
waive him
tanky team
anyway.
that trades for him.
It might be a what?
A tanking team.
Yeah,
The
I
only
would say
thing
it's
that Russ
more
is
than
doing
likely
now
going to be a
is
taking team anyway. It's not like
he's
Russ
fine.
right now is playing for, in my opinion, not to say like he doesn't want the Lakers to win, but Russ is more so playing for himself and the new identity and role that he's trying to make sure the rest of the league knows that he's willing to adopt a 6-man role. That's really what he's doing. So when he does get traded or when the season is over and he's looking for another team, because I think when he gets traded, he'll just be waived. When that does happen, he's not just looking out in the abyss and nobody's willing to give him an opportunity to just come off the bench and play for him. Hell, I'll be honest with you. If you're the Pelicans, this version of Westbrook that you've seen, you would want that.
I don't know. They don't have no team.
No, you would.
I don't know.
Because
Legend of winning.
Zion needs somebody to run.
Legend of winning.
Y'all
No.
bugging away.
Zion needs somebody to
No.
run.
You're saying that he needs a Lonzo replacement?
We're not doing that.
Yeah, he does need a lot of kids.
Hey, the Bulls could use a player like Russell Westbrook.
No. I can't. I'm not going to do that to the Bulls.
No, you can't do that to them niggas in New Orleans, man. That's mean, bro. That's mean, man.
How was it mean?
That's mean, bro.
I don't think it's mean.
I just don't think it's a good fit.
That team is nice, man. Keep us away from that team, bro.
And then the Miami team need a new point guard, bro.
Hey, man, I'm not gonna
Miami does need a new point guard.
Yeah. Actually, Russ in Miami with Bam and Jimmy. Oh my goodness, that might be.
I can't wait for those Bam, Jimmy, and Russell Westbrook lines.
Now that offense is terrible. Let's be clear.
Transition offense will be transition wise be great, but bro,
oh yeah,
half court is absolutely abysmal.
What about what
That
about
Y'all trust Sprout?
that team doesn't never need to slow down if that's what they do.
Yo, Lo, imagine a
Lo?
DHL with Jimmy and Russ.
What
Oh
about
my
Westbrook
god.
for Vucevic?
Shut up.
Oh my
Shut
God,
up.
no, Jesus
Shut
Christ.
up. What
Yeah,
is
imagine
No,
imagine a
basketball.
DHL
That would
with
be
Russ and
stupid.
Bam.
Oh
Imagine,
man,
bro.
niggas will be defending that from the block.
Yo, bro.
Niggas will be defending that. Niggas will be defending that from the baseline, nigga. No cap.
Oh my god, my nigga, that'd be some shit, man.
To be
That'd
honest,
be
Russ
some
is
I'm
fucking
like
gonna
shit.
keep it a beam. Well, Orlando doesn't want to win, so I was about to say Orlando
Yeah, I was actually
also
gonna say,
needs to
look
win.
at
Yeah.
if you,
about the
a nigga like
Wizards.
Nah,
a
they don't
nigga
need to
like
be taking
Jalen
the ball
Suggs,
out of the
Wizards don't need Westbrook back.
They got too many niggas they
a
need to
nigga
get
like
better.
Jalen Suggs, y'all should really look at. To be honest, bro, I'm not gonna lie.
I do know that nigga Bull's been hooping.
Yeah, that nigga's like his true shooting percentage is at like
look
a
who they
80, I
playing.
think, or some shit. It's crazy high right now.
They got too
Hey,
many young niggas.
no cap.
Trade Russ to the Pistons.
Dallas.
Oh, you not to my boy Cade,
Who
bro.
would you get from Dallas? JaVale? You want
Yeah,
JaVale
you
back?
don't want to
No, well,
see
no.
a lineup.
Let me be clear. Let me be clear. I'm talking about he gets traded to whatever team that just wants draft picks from the Lakers, and he
Okay.
goes from that, and he just it.
You know what? Actually, I'll be honest. With the spacing that Dallas could provide for Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, if he wants to continue that bench role, he actually could help Luka in terms of like his usage rating not being that high.
That's
I
what I'm about to
guess.
say.
Yeah, because
They
like
need
he
to
actually
replace
be
him
able
with
to push the
Jordan,
pace.
You're not wrong about
man.
that.
Then when he low key not.
He adds small
But
rim
Russ
pressure.
to
He still has a
Russ to
slight
Detroit
burst.
though. I
He
want to
still has a
see.
slight burst as well too. So like he can actually attack the rim pretty
Who the fuck you gonna get from
pretty
Detroit?
well.
Had a Russ dude.
So
I want to see Russ, Killian Hayes, and Kevin Knox on the
Oh
court
my
together.
if I
god.
ever see a Luka led offense with a Russ on that floor, man, I'd
Yeah,
be
now
mad as fuck.
Luka and Russ don't need to spend that much time on the floor with one another, but
Yeah, they
just
should.
having another
They were
guard coming off the bench to help them push the pace and alleviate Luka, and like the offense doesn't just crumble apart when Luka's off the team. I mean, off the bench. Excuse me. When he's on the bench. Excuse me. Jeez, I'm all over the place. Like I think that works for them.
it
And
would
low
be
key,
a lot
if he
like
plays with
Russ in Houston.
Vinny Smith and what's his name again, Reggie Bullock, like those are good wing defenders. They can look kind of mask his like bad POA stances sometimes. So like he could actually like that defense might help him become like a neutral in that situation. Like so.
Actually, I'm not even mad. Hey, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, me neither.
It would be
But
Russ and Houston
But the thing is, who
2.0.
would y'all want like in return? Like who y'all taking in
No,
return? If you...
I'm
No,
telling you.
no.
What I'm
It's
saying
not
is
good.
Russ gets traded to San Antonio. San Antonio gives us Pirtle and Jay Rich. San Antonio, because they don't need him, they just buy out his contract or waive him because he only has one more year left. Westbrook becomes a free agent, and a team that is trying to compete, who needs some play coming off the bench that he showed, and with the Lakers, they just sign him to a minimum, yes, they signed him to a vet minimum so he can play the rest of the season out. That's
This,
what Russ needs to do.
That's dead ass.
this is
That's
what that
dead
nigga
ass. The
Victor
most
Oladipo
perfect
is.
scenario you could think of, though, man. Like that's like the most perfect scenario for
I
us.
think
To
that's
be
the
honest,
most realistic scenario.
not like I think it's the most perfect because like one, we don't even know like if the Lakers are actually gonna go for that Spurs trade. Yeah, they should, but like I don't think they will. To be honest,
No, they'll
We
go
get
for the
Russ
trade.
in
because like realistically, we know who's gonna get that trade if it actually does happen, and like also I don't think like people would still be kind of like people. Some teams would still shy away from Russ just because of like even though he's playing well, like I think because of the type of player he just is in general that people still might shy away from. Just some teams though, but there's
Would
definitely a chance for him being picked up by a team like 100%. But I don't think it might be a contender.
would Pop want to help LeBron?
No,
So then that's the other problem. There
Lakers.
is such thing as a Laker tax when it comes to pop like the Spurs. I don't know if they're going to be willing to make the trade, but
Actually, I think it's the Poland get tags. I think they just don't like that. To be quite honest with you.
I
oh,
don't know
man.
if Pop likes LeBron.
But hey, like I said, I want to make this quick. Y'all can go in other rooms. I just want to again Shout out to the Lakers, man. They did the damn thing. They did what they were supposed to do. They
Wow.
played.
Oh
They
shit!
played.
I
Yeah,
forgot to.
Winning
Yo,
streak.
look at the jumbotron. You see what Charles Barkley said on
yeah. I saw
CNN?
that too. Charles Barkley.
Charles
I don't know
Barkley.
why people are surprised when Charles Barkley says something crazy shit, because he's been saying crazy shit. He's literally, like I say, he's in his entire career, like even dating back to when he was in the league playing basketball. He used to say crazy shit, like very, very much so crazy shit. So
He always
that
says
right
crazy shit,
there
but
doesn't
he gets
surprise
a
me.
pass because he's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's true, man. I'm not
that's
gonna lie,
true.
that's true. But I'm not gonna lie though. Some of what he said on CNN had a little bit of validity to it, because like some people in the black community are kind of,
Sometimes.
even low. You can agree to like an extent that
Yeah,
like
but he said they're the main reason. They're
yeah,
the
they're
biggest
definitely
threat,
not. They're definitely not.
and
They're
they're
definitely
not.
So, you're not even the
Yeah.
majority.
Oh, wait. I'm gonna add Eli in, and then I'm gonna just act as if like he didn't say what he said earlier.
not.
Yo, Eli.
This nigga here.
Yo, he's left.
It still says he's for me. It still says he's a listener. I think he dipped out the space.
Yeah. He probably heard what I said and then left. All right. On that note, yo, I think
look who decides to show up, AJ, man. Oh my god, bro.
I don't even see AJ. Oh yeah, AJ, because AJ doesn't follow me. This nigga's afraid to follow me for whatever reason. I don't know. He's weird. AJ's weird like that, man. He's a weird nigga, dog.
Yeah, unfortunately, man.
He's just super weird. But yeah, I'll
Don't
catch
talk
y'all later,
about
man.
my dog like that.
Oh, here comes this nigga. This nigga came here to talk.
I don't follow
Who, AJ?
niggas that don't follow me back, man.
You don't. How can I
I
follow
just
you back
followed
if
you.
you
I
don't
just
follow
followed
me?
you. Listen. I feel like hold on, follow me. I feel like this should be like a peace treaty of sorts. Like all this arguing, just getting tiring. You hating on LeBron also real gay. I feel like you us doing this should symbolize a new beginning, man. You stop that weird shit.
How am I hating on LeBron?
No one hated on LeBron, literally.
Shut up.
Hold on, real quick. Can you post some reactions?
He's mad because you said
Nigga,
that the
who are you
Lakers
talking to,
should
nigga?
go away from building around LeBron.
KB, stop talking to me like this. You know you love me.
I do, but like,
What?
nigga,
There's not
LeBron
love
is
between us, my
38.
boy. Don't try to make it weird, man. What are the Lakers without LeBron 3-0, right?
Yeah, they are.
I mean, look who they playing against.
Yeah,
they playing against.
me and Lo
trash
was saying
teams,
this earlier, but they're going to gas it because LeBron's not playing. But they're just playing shitty teams. The Pistons, the Spurs 3 fucking times, and like I remember the Pelicans without
Bi. Show if they're good or
like
not.
they're not.
But like, you can't deny the fact that like the tendencies, the continuity, the
tendencies
all
look
that,
better,
like, just
but
won't
I
be better.
can always just boil that down to them like it being a little later in the season. Niggas understanding their role a little better. Like Troy Brown Jr., for example. He's playing good with LeBron.
They lost to the Kings without Brown.
But like, even though like what you're, I get what you're saying, but even when LeBron comes back, like he'll like the pace will get slower. Yeah. The offense will become a little bit more stagnant.
That's what's going to concern me.
And like that's like, and like the defense on like even the LeBron's defense this year has been like
Ron helps the defense, man. Not do this.
Not that much, man.
I saw Larry Marketing get off.
Larry has been getting off on everybody with this fake ass shooting.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
That nigga's shooting 50% from the long midi, bro. Like this shit is so fake. I hate it.
Do you think they get low key if the Cavs were able to keep Larry Marketing in that trade, man? He could have been huge for these niggas.
Chicago really
but he wouldn't be playing like this.
Sure, he's not playing like this.
Westbrook.
I don't think so neither. But he definitely would have been like a plug and play type of guy, where like if you wanted to play Evan Mobley at the 5 or.
I mean, he doesn't fix their biggest issue, which is like a lane stopper.
Shout out to Quinn Snyder for unlocking Larry Markkinen.
He's still not there.
He doesn't coach there anymore, by the way.
I'm so happy for going.
I am.
always believed in
this
Okay,
nigga's awesome.
Never mind. My bad.
I don't remember that new coach's name though.
Oh yeah, wait. I see Raquel in there. Yo, Raquel, I'm trying to get AD as much props as possible. People swear I hate AD and they swear I hate LeBron. AJ think
Yo,
I hate
low,
LeBron.
Because you've been
I gotta ask you,
preaching
bro.
to trade them away.
This is completely off a Laker
Oh my
topic.
goodness!
Why is that nigga Tika TV cooking the shit out of you, bro? What's up
All
with
right, I think I gotta wrap up this space.
What?
Oh,
KB
follow
is
back.
I ain't gonna lie.
What'd you
Said
say,
follow
AJ?
back, lame ass nigga.
Damn, are you begging me?
I'm not
All right, fine.
begging you. I'm
I'll
actually.
follow back. No,
I'm
I'll
actually.
follow back. It's fine.
Oh no,
I
that's
don't even want
crazy.
to know. I
That's
don't even want to know.
crazy.
Post some more reaction
I
videos.
don't want to know.
I'll follow
I
back.
don't,
It's fine. AJ is fine. I'll follow
I don't
back.
want to know more, bro.
AJ, don't
You
Oh
worry.
my
pissing me off. I'm
god.
finna leave this
Should I get a
space.
phone back?
I'll follow back, dog. I'll follow
Hey,
Don't
back.
do that to
B, add
AJ,
me
bro.
and BB. What you trying to see, bro? I'm leaving. This nigga pissing me off. Everybody have a good night.
No
He's
worry.
in a
No
troll
worry.
mood, man.
Everybody have a good night, man.
Fact. Hey, oh yeah, everybody watch on the timeline. I'm giving Anthony Davis his flowers, guys. Don't worry about it. I know you guys don't think I'll give him his flowers. He getting his
I need to
flowers.
see
He
my
playing
age.
great. He playing like a top. He playing like one of the best players in the NBA right now.
Yo, below, go to BBU for free, nigga.
I think he said for free. All right.
If
All
you're
right,
free,
bet. I'll
if
see
you're
y'all later. See you on the timeline. Hopefully the Lakers will be competitive against the Suns. If they are, I will be extremely happy. I'll be
I think
happy.
LeBron will play that game. Actually.
Shout out Sonic. Shout out
I actually
Sonic.
don't even want LeBron to play that game. I actually just want to see what a team looks like without LeBron. And that's not like, and that's like win or lose. I just genuinely want to see what the team looks like running at this pace. Deadass. I genuinely want to.
Yeah.
I honestly think they might do a better job without LeBron.
I think so
To be
too,
honest,
and I just need to actually see it. I need to actually see it. But if LeBron is playing anywhere near close to how he normally plays, like for the past 19 years, then of course, like LeBron would be a better option. But all right, I'll see y'all later.
Shout out Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
Yeah.